Once again, my name is Paul Michael. I am one of the owners and founders of Revolution Roofing, along with a couple other amazing individuals, plus an amazing support team behind us who has helped build multi-million and billion-dollar industries across the world in different things. So let's go ahead and get rolling. So first of all, my name, like I said, is Paul Michael. I'm not going to go through talking about all the things I've done in my past. I've been very, very blessed. I was born and raised in Texas. Wasn't a great student, but ended up being very blessed over the years to kind of get involved in being an entrepreneur. And I saw a gentleman today online said, listen, a lot of people think they're an entrepreneur. A lot of people say they're an entrepreneur, but you're really not an entrepreneur until you're laying in bed at night and you look over, if you have a sweetie or someone laying next to you that you're with, and say, we're not going to be able to pay ourselves this month, but we're going to make sure our employees and our people are paid. I have been doing that since I was 24 years old. And it's kind of what I was predestined to do. I didn't go to school, get a good education, any of those kind of things. But over the years, I've been blessed enough to realize kind of where I stand out and where I stick out. And it is in the form of I find big problems to big solutions, and usually come up with big paychecks. And over the years, it's come to the point where I've been able to do that in multi-million and billion-dollar industries. And not only myself, but I have two other business partners. One of them you're going to hear from tonight, who is a gentleman by the name of Clint Robertson. He and I went to high school with. He's an amazing individual who, not only in high school, he and I were the exact opposites in high school. He was one of the people who, he got a valedictorian. He was the guy that had all the good grades. He was the one that went to the great college, went to TCU, he got a CPA, he became a certified public accountant, became a real estate attorney, then became a entrepreneur. We took different paths to kind of get to the same place. And he is one of those people that I trust with almost everything in my life. And when I introduce you, I'll tell you one place that I don't really trust him in, and it's kind of a funny area, but it just shows you the camaraderie and the background that each of us have in knowing each other as long as we do. But he not only was all these different things, he's also been on TV on Donald Trump's Apprentice. He was on a show for 7 years called HGTV's Boise Boys. Now he has a new show coming out with a new show called Building Boise with his partner Clint. And just to kind of let you guys know how smart he is, how brilliant he is at his decision making, they have actually put someone into their show that probably is going to help it more than any single thing in their whole show. And that's making me executive producer. Now, this picture is done with AI. I don't look like this. Maybe the gold chains and a little bit of the chest hair, but just kidding. I actually am very blessed to kind of be an executive producer on their show, which I'm not sure exactly what all that means yet. But I would never align myself just easily with most people because I don't trust everybody. But I don't care what Clint Robertson is doing. If I have the opportunity to be involved with it, I will. And so when we started talking about doing something together, there's three. I always believe in threes. I mean, everything in life with me is three. There's three rules in my life. You got to get excited, pay attention, never quit. And doing this business together, I have my team that I've worked with in different businesses with Pedro, Evelyn, all these different people for years and years and years. We've built billion-dollar companies. Then we've got the part with Clint, who's got national and global exposure and a great reputation, and people know him all over the world by what he's done in the home renovation and real estate and everything else business. And then you've got the third part of this, which some of you are on here tonight, you're going, I don't know why I'm excited about roofing, but I think I'm excited about roofing. If that's you, that was me. When I sat down with my business partner and brought him in, or he brought me in, actually, I knew nothing about roofing. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. But over the last 4 months, I have become a big fan of roofs. Now, we all know that everyone needs a roof. If you have a home, you've got to have the roof and you've got to have the foundation. Give me 1 second. I need to make sure I close this door here. Sorry about that, guys. I live on a high rise and I had both doors open and people were coming up and down my hall. But so the gentleman that brought the roofing counterpart to us has been in roofing for over 15 years. He started throwing shingles off a roof 15 years ago, has built billion-dollar companies. He took an area in the roofing industry that was struggling, a small area within a company that was a billion-dollar company, took it from 30 million, around 30 million to over 140 million dollars in revenue in less than 4 years. So how many of you would agree with me? He knows a little bit about what he is doing. So the reason why we have the system, and I'm not going to get in, I told you more about the people. And to me, listen, anybody can be in the roofing business, anybody can have a company. It's about the people that matter the most to me. And so the system is the second part that is so important to what we do. And the reason why I'm going to talk about that a little bit is something called, it was called ERC. The last industry I was in, it was called the Employee Retention Tax Credit Program. And what happened was, the government during COVID realized that a lot of businesses were taking it upon themselves to pay their employees out of their own pocket. So they came up with a program that if you kept your employees employed during COVID, you could qualify for up to $26,000 in the form of a tax credit in the form of a check. We helped trillions of dollars were distributed to U.S. businesses through that. We created a company called Jorns that was a CPA firm that helped these businesses qualify. Because of our marketing expertise and being able to build teams across the country, we were able to build, just within what we did, over $1 billion in revenue for our clients, and for our reps were taken, affiliate reps were taken care of very well because of this system. And so trillions were distributed, high payouts per deal. There was a simple value proposition. It was very simple to understand, just like what in the roofing business we figured out. And many of the affiliates, some of those are on there tonight, they made life-changing income. We were able to help thousands of people earn a six-figure income using the exact system we're going to show you today. And we helped a very large number of people earn over 60,000 plus. So why that matters here. ERC proved how powerful the right opportunity can be when structured correctly. It also proved the downside of one-time programs. That was an amazing thing, but it was one time. There was no repeat business, and I'll talk about why that matters to us in a minute. But it reinforced the importance of endless demand, real-world services, and long-term income potential. There was only a certain number of people that business qualified for. You had to be a business owner. You had to have done this. And we were able to do billions of dollars in revenue for our clients and take care of our affiliates. But I started looking around for something that could fit into that same model, have the same numbers, but be something that was a long-term deal. So why roofing? That's what I kept asking myself. Why am I interested in this? Now, the reason why is because of this. We've been looking for an industry that couldn't be replaced by AR technology, but it can be enhanced by it, and roofing can. It's recession resistant. How many of us realize everyone needs a roof? Everyone needs a roof. If you're ever on a flight, your next flight, I would encourage you, as you're landing or taking off from wherever you are, look out the window and just count how many roofs you see. So it has recurring and scalable income, has numbers that can rival ERC. Now, I'm going to go quickly through this because I want to bring on our special guest, but just look at the numbers alone. The estimated annual industry revenue is $75 billion when it comes to commercial roofing. I'm not going to go through all the rest of these. This is commercial. Now, $75 billion. The average commercial roofing project is $500,000, guys. Like, that's an amazing number. And when you see what we pay out, you're going to be more amazed. Major demand drivers are warehouses, retail centers, office buildings, hospitals. You also have long-term maintenance contracts. Now, when somebody gets a roof put on, they need to maintain it. They need to make sure that it's taken care of over the life of that roof. And we are there to help with that. And so that's where residual recurring income comes in. Residential roofing. Now, maybe it's not as big, but it's still a $50 to $55 billion a year annual residential market. So between these two, and okay, why roofing is resistant? Sorry, guys, can't get my mouth working perfect tonight. I'm so excited about where we are. And listen, what we've done in the first 60 days within this business is something I never thought would happen, but it also makes me know what's available for you guys that become affiliates and working with us. So roof failure is not an option. Insurance often covers replacement costs, and businesses cannot operate without functional roofs. Now, Maintenance contracts, that becomes predictable repeat revenue. So the bottom line here is $120 billion combined commercial and residential market. There's endless demand. It's not impacted except in a positive way by AI or automation, and it's built on real world assets and real work. So, why I got excited, we get to disrupt another industry and taking what I know in referral marketing. So, every one of you that's on here tonight, you have the opportunity to become an affiliate with us. You have the opportunity to get started for zero money. You get started, you have your own back office website, you have your own link. James DeVries, our CTO, is actually on here tonight. Every single day, he's coming up with better ways to make this thing work so that you guys have an opportunity to have your own referral code. You can not only get started yourself and make money, you can also build a team. And so referral marketing is where it's at. Everything I've ever done in life that has been good has become from referral marketing. We built a $1 billion revenue company and we didn't spend $1 in advertising. And I know some people don't understand that. They don't get it. They don't believe it. But I can show you the numbers because guess what? When people know you and trust you, it's a lot better system. So why this matters for your affiliates, you guys that are here, faster conversions equal faster deals. I'm not going to go through all this, but you can just understand the reason why Clint Robertson is involved with our business is because I have a personal relationship with him. The reason why we got our first deal that is going to, I can't even tell you the amount of money it's going to bring in for the affiliate that brought it in. It's going to be around $7,200 a week for that one affiliate that brought one deal. Now, I don't want to run through all this, but I want to explain to you. If you're a rep with our company and you bring a roof in, you don't have to know about roofing. You don't have to have a ladder. You don't have to get on a truck. You don't have to know anything about it. All you got to do is know someone who has a roof that will let us do an inspection. And that's exactly what happened with one of the first deals. We had some other ones that are working. We have a gentleman on tonight that's working on I think a 500,000 square foot deal. And if that thing goes, he's going to make an enormous amount of money. But listen, this is how we do it. If you get involved with the company and you bring it to us, all you got to do is bring the lead. We take it from there. We do the estimation. We go out and meet with the client. We sell the whole thing for you. Then we don't call you up and go, hey, I hope you have a hammer and some nails so you can go put this roof on. We take care of that part as well. But if I told you the average roof, if you look at this number right here, the average commercial roof is about $500,000 in revenue. The average profit is about 25%. Now, don't hold me to that. Some are going to be more, some are going to be less. My partner that was involved in this industry for 15 years, who runs the roofing part of everything we do, his average roof for commercial was 1.2 million on each roof. Some are going to be less, some are going to be more. So, but if you brought that in and all you did was bring us a lead and it's 500,000 at a 25% profit margin, you're going to make about 12,500 just on the beginning of that. Now, what if there's a commercial contract for long-term maintenance on that? You're going to make more. But guess what? Some of you are going to know other people in other states and other cities who live what if you know someone that lives in an area, which we don't want this to happen, but how many of us realize hurricanes happen, tornadoes happen, act of God, all kinds of natural disasters can happen that can ruin roofs. Guess what? Maybe you know somebody in Kansas, maybe you know somebody in Tennessee, maybe you know somebody along the Gulf Coast or here in Florida where I live, and they get started and they start bringing deals in. You're going to make 10% on what you do, but if you start building that team, once again, they bring in the lead, we talk to them, we sell it, we go out and do everything on it. Just for bringing it in, you're going to make 5% on them. Pardon me, guys, for doing that. Still getting over this little bit of a cough. Sorry me. So you make 12,500 on this example if you do it, but if you bring someone else who does it, you're going to make 6,250. Nobody paid to get started. Nobody had to buy any shampoo or anything like that. All you did was people started bringing in leads, and instead of us paying money for multiple, like millions and millions of dollars in advertising, we pay it out to the people that are actually doing the work in the business. Same thing again, goes down to 3 level. You can make 3% on somebody 2 levels down from you. If you go over here, what if you had a team of people on your 3rd level of 20 people and 5 of those people on a monthly basis brought in one roof and you made $3,750 off of it? Now, once again, please understand This is just a theoretical example. I can't guarantee you what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, but I can guarantee you it's going to happen. It's already happened for one person in our company. You can go down another level. So, like it says here, you don't need a truck, you need a network. And that's what is so important to me with this whole thing. Residential roofs. This is not going to be, pardon me, guys, as large. And everyone tells me that I've underplayed the numbers on this. They're usually not larger on an average residential roof. But let's say a total job value is 12,000, average profit net 3,000. If you brought someone in who brought in a residential roof, and guess what? Some of you need to get paid quickly. These things are done in 3 to 4 days. So if you brought it in, we got the crew out there, they did the work, and it's $3,000 net profit. Just for bringing it in, you'd make 300 bucks. What if you had 10 of those in a month? What if on your first level override, you had 10 of those where you made 150 off of them? What if you went down another level? You guys can do the math. But we also give you a back office. And I'm going through this as fast as I can because I want to give the bulk and the remainder of the time to the gentleman that I told you about. I'm not going to go through all this, but we have a back office that is second to none. That's getting better every day. We're going to have training materials, videos. You have your own QR code where you can track stuff. We're working right now to integrate everything in with something called AccuLinks so that it goes directly into our system. We have 2 different systems. Right now, we're working to make those things talk together. So I'm not going to go through the steps on getting started tonight. What I want to do is this. I have an amazing friend of mine. And listen, you guys are looking at it. There's 11 people on a call tonight. We're just getting started. We're in this the second month of this year. And I'm going to bring this gentleman on in just one moment. Let me kind of bring him up to promote into panelist so he can be on here. But just so you understand, in the first 60 days, we had one person that brought one deal on. And on a monthly basis, I can't tell you exactly where it is, exactly because there's NDAs and all these other things we had to sign. But because of this one deal, the person that brought it in is going to make an average of about $7,200 a week for one deal. Didn't cost any money in advertising, didn't cost any of those type of things. So without further ado, I want to tell you a quick story about how much fun we have here, why we're together, and this is not just about money. But I have one of my best friends. You heard me talk about him, Clint Robertson. He and I have been involved in different businesses over the years. He and I went to high school together. Once I tell people all the time, Clint graduated magna cum laude. I graduated Lordy how come, and I didn't even graduate. I just had to finish after school. But he's one of the people I trust the most, except when it comes to matchmaking skills. He and I were in Texas. We were doing some filming a couple of weeks ago, and he told me, hey, I met this lady on a plane. I think she'd be right up your alley. And I said, okay, I'm good. All of a sudden, I look up, and we're filming, and Clint gets a call, and he starts trying to sell me to this lady, essentially. And I don't think Clint should go into the matchmaking business. I honestly believe his skills, God-given skills, are much better suited to everything else we're doing. But if you want to see that video, you can go to my Facebook page and see Clint trying to pimp me out on the road. But without further ado, what I want to do is kind of turn this over to him for the last 10 minutes of this call so you guys can listen to him, get to know him better, because I'm telling you what, there's nobody else on the face of the earth that I would go blindly into business with except Clint Robertson, because I know who he has at his core. I know who he is as a person, and I know that he will work to make this thing work for you guys just as much as I will. So, Clint, if you'll take it over.
Paul, let me just say this about that little experience we had with that fine young lady I was trying to introduce you to. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
You can't shove her head in the water and drown her.
No, I'm saying I can lead you to I can put you in the positions, but you got to convert.
You know what? I don't think I have any problem in that area. Right now, Clint, I'm focused on business.
Well, hey, with those slides like you had earlier of you being the executive producer, your AI. I mean, you in that slide you look like a Miami kingpin. And so I don't know why my AI that you used from me on this slide made me look like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. All I was missing was the bolts in my neck.
Which one was that?
The one on Facebook.
Oh, that was a video. That was just you. That wasn't an
No,
AI.
that was you could set a flower pot on my head. It was so flat.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that, but that was just straight video. That was God. That wasn't AI.
Exactly.
I'll let you
Well,
take over.
what's amazing, Paul, is a lot of people use the word nexus in different ways, but this is truly a nexus what you've put together here. It's a combination of what you've been and done in your past. I mean, you have been successful at this in building teams and putting things together. We have not only you as a person, we put together a great leadership team. We're at a nexus with a group of people that you've already put together for other endeavors that have made tons of money, some people seven figures. And there's also having the nexus of this opportunity. It really is to me. You hear about, I don't want, people overuse the once in a lifetime statement, but this truly is an opportunity because of how big profits are in roofing. And even your numbers, like you say, you way undershot the runway on the residential. It's going to be probably closer to twice that. In fact, what's crazy, Paul, is tonight uh, I got the idea. Well, first of all, I called a lady 2 weeks ago and said, "Hey, I know you're a um, I know you're a property manager in Wichita Falls, Texas. I know you've got 30 or 40 houses. I'd like to put someone on all the roofs and just let your folks know if they need work." And this lady said, "Well, sure, that sounds like a great service for my customers. What do you want in exchange?" I said, "I just want the opportunity to see if we can help you." And sure enough, she let us do that. And out of the 34, 35 roofs she had, we picked up about 20% of the roofs, six or seven roofs needed replacing. And so those roofs and I've already calculated what those roofs are going to cost to run an approximate profit. And those things are not going to make $300 a piece. They're probably going to make closer to $1,000 a piece on that 10% level for me, just because I knew someone, because I happened to just know a property manager. Not because I'm in the business. I mean, I know this lady just because of, well, I guess I do know her from myself being in business in Texas. But I started thinking today, I met a guy in Boise, Idaho, and I'm in Boise today, who leased me a house when we first came to Idaho. And I said, I'm going to pick up the phone, just call him and see what he's doing these days. Well, he is a property manager. He has 450 units in Boise. He's a member of a confederation of groups. They're called Key Renter, and it's a franchise. And this franchise has over 10,000 roofs. Well, just so happens the guy I called up, just because I only met him because I rented a house from him in Boise. And we talked and caught up. He said, "It's funny, I'm best friends. I become best friends because I have 450 roofs, and there are 400 of us franchisors around I'm sorry, there's it's not 400. Anyway, he has a few hundred franchisors all across the United States, but they add up to 10,000 roofs plus. And he's going to their convention this week, as a matter of fact. Just the week that I actually called him, he said, "You know what? This is a great idea. I know that the main franchisor of this is going to be all over this because it brings a service to our people, and they're going to love this." So now I've got a guy who's given me 450 houses, who's going to sell for me another 9,500 houses, out of which uh, what we've done so far, we've gotten more than 10% results on the houses, the roofs we looked at. What if we only get 10% of those? That's 1,000 houses, 1,000 roofs, some of which are apartment complexes. So when you add all that up, just because I rented a house one time, that's all it took. In my capacity as a guy renting a house in Boise, that's how I met this guy. So I know everybody in this group, everybody who knows someone like this. And if they don't know someone like this, they're going to know someone who knows someone like this. And the money on this thing is just too phenomenal. It's almost unbelievable. And that's why when you called me up, Paul, and told me what you were doing, I said, "I'm in. Do not let this train leave the station without me." And I said it pretty quickly. So, Paul, did you have some particular things that you want to go over with me?
I mean, I wanted you to kind of share exactly what you shared, like why you were excited about it. I mean, I was excited about it before you and I spoke, but knowing someone like you that's in the industry, that not only will what you do now bring credibility to what we do. I mean, you have a worldwide global presence. I would love for you to tell even a little bit more about what you're doing right now and where, because I think what you're doing is going to help our people in such a big way to where, like, I've thought about it, I haven't brought it up. I mean, now that you've been trying to pimp me out, I'm going to start trying to pimp you out a little bit. But utilizing your global presence, and it's going to get even bigger to like where we could have a convention in, I mean, I don't know, Nashville,
Oh, it
Tennessee.
happened today already. It happened today, believe it or not. I was on the phone with Ken, and we were there's a guy I met at the convention you and I were at 2 weeks ago, and he is part of a big. He's a local representative of one of the big distribution centers for all things roofing. You know, different shingle brands, different uh, types of surfaces, and everything we could use, even equipment. They sell it. Well, he knew about the show. He heard about what we were doing with it. Boise Boys has actually morphed into, we have our own production company now. You know this because you're an executive producer. Now we love having you because you bring that angle that the same thing you bring to this business. You bring a great angle of what we're doing, and so because we've got that show, because it's being distributed globally with the same company that's distributing Mr. Beast's all his things, we're in with a big group, so we're getting globally distributed to all the different. He's taken his online things and packaging them and distributing them for broadcast globally, and they're doing the same thing with our show. They're distributing it globally. So that came in handy today because the guy who we talked to at that convention had already run it up the ladder. This company has just been in the last 48 months or 24 months been bought by uh, um, Home Depot, and they want to work with us. And you know what they want to do that's going to affect the bottom line for every single person in this company? They want to give us the best deal that they give their top customers on every single product we get. And so we're going to get the cheapest deal. And when all hell breaks loose and the big hurricane comes through or the tornadoes hit the Midwest or whatever happens, when supplies start running tight, we're going to be one of the people who are in line to get the supplies before anybody else. So we took that relationship, we took that who we were and who we've been able to build that identification of who we are through this television show, and we use that to parlay it into something that's going to put more money in every single person here and everybody else in the company's pocket. Because when you can buy shingles for 50 to 75% of what everybody else is buying them for, what does that do to your profit margin? It massively improves it. And a lot of times these profit margins, Paul, I know you say they're 25%, but across the industry, they're going to be closer to a third to somewhere up to 40, some have even 50%. So when you have those kind of numbers and you're compounding cheaper equipment, good products that are bought cheaper, and using our teams to install those, the profit margin goes up, and everything goes up that goes in. Everything that you put in your pocket becomes bigger.
And not only that, I look at this going, you know what? Say a hurricane does hit in an area, and because of Clint and his show and what he's done, if we were to drop our teams in there with camera crews, and not just to do something to go put a roof on, but to benefit those people that are at the
Sure.
worst part of their lives, to go in there and not take advantage of them, but to be able to parlay your celebrity into getting cheaper prices when these people are expecting people to come in, take advantage of them, rip them off, know the people, and have someone like you be able to go in and say, hey, you know what? You know that I always use this thing is we're the government, we're here to help. That's the worst thing you could ever hear. But if you had Revolution Roofing with Clint Robertson, we're actually here to help you and do something good. That's why I'm doing this because I look at this and go, it's a win-win, not only for the customer because we can give them better prices, it's a win for our affiliates because they can make a great income. But as a company, my goal at 24 years old, when I got really started in business, was I flipped the way I started thinking. I said, you know what, God, if you give me the opportunity to be successful, I want to be able to parlay that into impacting lives around the world in a positive way. And there's nothing but positivity that comes out of this. And I never understood that it could come from roofing.
Well, I'm in the same boat, Paul. I'm an empty nester now. You know my three boys. They're all out doing their things. They're all two of them are medical doctors now. One of them's about to be a PhD. And I've got some time left. I got a lot of time left, but I want to use it for just exactly what you said. being able to lead people to water, kind of what I joked to you about converting that sale on that little on that
I don't know if
girl.
we should call it a
Uh,
sale, but
well, it
okay.
was, everything's a sale.
That's
Uh,
right. But
but we've got people right now who we can show the way to change their lives, and all they have to do is just listen. Just listen. And that's it. And just do. You don't have to know anything about roofs. What do I say every meeting that we have, Paul, about all of our reps? They don't need to know anything about the roofing industry. They just know, like you said, we're here to help. We're here to bring you something good. We've even brought in a private adjuster who's going through who's these guys they love peeling through insurance paperwork to see how much more we can get. These guys double, triple, and sometimes shoot. They took a roof up in Wichita Falls, Texas, about a year ago, and turned it from a $250,000. It's a big industrial complex for a $250,000 claim. He got them 1.25 million, seven figures on top of what
crazy.
they thought they were going to get. So we got the team around us. This nexus I've been talking about has never been stronger. I mean, I've got a great nexus with Luke, my partner in Idaho, and you can see our relationship on the camera. And this is right up there with that. This rivals that. It's strong, it's smart, and it's going to be something that's used to benefit people. Not only the people who we help put new roofs on and get more money than they could have gotten before, but to me, these folks who are coming here looking to us to point them to the way, you and I have found the way. We've been there.
Right.
It's not our first rodeo. All we want people to do now is just listen, show up, and not have to teach
Bring us
anybody
more
about a
people.
roof. All we need to do is get the more boots on the ground, the more success we see happening. And
And I
honestly, and me just by myself on one deal from a guy before I was ever known for construction was a guy I rented from back in 2000 or when I first got to Idaho, and that guy actually is now probably going to turn into 1,000 roofs for us to look at. And if we're at a low number, we convert 10% of those. I'm sorry, 10,000 roofs. If we're at a low number and convert 10% of that, then that's 1,000 roofs that are going to that's I don't care what stage you're at. That's life changing to me, even where I am at my stage
absolutely.
of life. So imagine what that would be for someone who has the same relationships. I'm sure everybody in this call has rented something at some time or knows somebody who knows somebody who they rented from. The simple phone call brought me 34 people, and then it got me thinking. It's brought me 450 of this guys, and if they get it through corporate wide, it's a 10,000 lead phone call.
And guys, we've already got something that you can lead with people. Like one of the first deals, one affiliate brought us that, but it's hundreds of thousands of square feet that for the next two
No,
to
Paul,
three
it's
years.
4.9 million squares.
Okay. I don't know.
4.9 million 100 square foot sections that we're doing over the next several years. And the guy who brought it, like you said, he's not just making it for 2 weeks. He's not making $7,000 for a couple of weeks. He's making it for the next,
2 to 3 years.
yeah, while
And
we're
that's
building.
just the start.
Yeah.
And like we're doing
How would you
everything.
like to make $7,500 a week
Oh
for
my
three
God.
years?
It's be amazing. So let me leave you with this. There's three different types of people we talk to on a daily basis. First type looks at this and goes, you know what? It's interesting, but I don't really know if I can do this. What do you have to lose? Like Clint said, what do you got to lose? Talk to some people. If it doesn't work, you didn't lose anything because you didn't spend a dime. But guess what? What if you got that one deal that could bring it in? Second type person goes, you know what? I got more questions. I want to understand this more. That's great. We want to get those answered and we will. Third type person goes, you know what? If someone like Clint Robertson, who is already extremely busy, has a national show, who lives in three different places around the country, who's always going and doing something, was willing to stop almost everything he's doing outside of his show to get involved with this, why am I not going to? But I will tell you this, just to kind of tease this, guys, for you. Clint and I are talking about right now as their show gets ready to launch on a global scale, they're finishing up the distribution, and I'm in talks every single day to help. Actually, I'm not. I'm not really a part of that. I'm just making jokes. But Clint and I want to have something out here in Florida, a big kickoff where we do a red carpet event where you guys are involved. You get to bring all your people out here, and we get to premiere one of his episodes that nobody else has seen. Have our contractors come in, have our
I'll get
affiliates
Luke
come
there
in.
too. Luke's already said he'd love to be there.
Yeah, so we'll have all kinds of things. So we have something coming big in the next 60 to 90 days max, where we're going to do a huge event kickoff, and you guys are going to be a part of it. So just remember on a Tuesday night, February 24th, that you're on a call with 11 people, and then see where it is a year from now, see where it is 2 years from now. And some of the people that are on this call, they can vouch for it. I say this on different businesses, and it doesn't happen every single time. But the last business we were in with ERC didn't have half of the firepower of people that already have experience. Between Clint and my other business partner, they've got over 100+ years experience in construction and doing
Hey,
these
hey,
type of
wait a
things.
minute, wait a minute. It's probably not 100 between.
Okay, well, listen, if you put me in there with some of it,
Okay, good.
not the construction part of it, but our other partner used 100 years experience today, so I'm going to. But if you
Okay,
put
that's
the
fine.
roofs up, the guys that are on the roof right now, we
As
put
hard as
41.
hard as Ken works, he's probably had half of that in 10 years.
Yeah, he listen, our partner put 41 roofers on a roof within
Out of
7 days.
nothing. Out of
Within
nothing.
7 days.
We are ready to roll. All we need is the jobs, and frankly, we've got that job. We've already got another one that's going in College Station, part of
Yeah,
a
one
big
of the gentlemen
development.
that's on here tonight is the one I think that brought that to
Yeah.
us. So, listen, guys, I'm not going to take any more of your time. We don't need to convince anyone. This thing is going to keep going and keep rolling, and we're working on it every single day. So, I appreciate you getting on. I'm going to make sure this video is up within the next 24 hours so you can start utilizing this to get people signed up. But we appreciate you, Clint. I thank you for getting on and taking time out of your schedule. I know Clint's actually going out to the job site to look at this thing in the next week or two.
Yeah,
So,
this excites me. I mean, this is like watching money grow on a
right.
tree.
Awesome. Well, listen, guys, we're going to let you go, but we appreciate you. Thanks you so much, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks, Clint.